Well, hello, Spawn Hunters. It is the Spawn Hunter himself here, transmitting from the one and only Spawn Hunter Spawn Room. And I am making a video, a mail call video of the items that have come in the past few weeks since the last one that we had. So a lot of these items were coming from out of the country, and a special shout out to my good friend Raymond Flores, all the way from Paris, France. He sent me a box full of goodies, and wow, just wow. And I want to say thank you to him and thank you for to everyone, because there are more boxes to unpack. I have a special big box also to unpack from my good friend Petro Spawn that you should be following on Instagram. He's a really good friend of mine, and he has also sent a box that it needs its own video, because there's so much stuff in this box that came from France. And thank you, Guillaume. And so, without much to say, we're gonna diving into some of the items that have come in here into the spawn room. That it's incredible how I'm not running out of space just yet, but it's just working out really nicely. But we're reaching that capacity, but we're gonna make it work. We have plans for the expansion, and as always, I love to give stuff away. This video is no different, so stay tuned as you're watching, because there will be a giveaway. Now, as you can see, we have the Hellspawn from Series 24 classic comic covers, featuring obviously the Hellspawn from the cover of issue 1. They took the art of Ashley Wood and just practically made it 3D action figure size, and wow, remarkable, incredibly detailed. It just captured what Ashley Wood vision of the Hellspawn was, and the shades and the weapon, everything. It's practically that cover in your hands, 3D form. Definitely, as you have heard me say or posted on Instagram, I consider the classic common covers, the Art of Spawn figures, the best from McFarlane. And this is no exception as far as the detail that has come into play when making these figures. Kudos to the McFarlane team when making these action figures, because they are beyond action figures. They are mini statues, mini works of art that have amazing paint applications that capture what the cover was when he was a concept, right? And he was art, and then this just happens to be an action figure now. So amazing. But here's where why you probably saying to yourself, why is there three figures of them? They're not. Yes, they are, and they're not the same, because each one of them is slightly different. And the first right away difference is the packaging. The packaging, right off, we have this one with the big label and Spawn HS1 HSI.01 for Spawn Hellspawn issue 1. And this is considered for some the Walmart exclusives, because they had this big sticker. They had that the name with the abbreviation on the side, and they made their own kind of twist to the packaging. And then you have what we consider the wide release in the middle of the same figure. But as I was making this video, I noticed that there's differences also in the paint apps. As you can see here, you can probably tell that the on the side of the arm, it's not as, the shade is quite different than the Walmart exclusive. There's a bit more orange on the leg and the arm, and it's definitely very, very noticeable. So if you consider that a variant or not, up to you. I would say that I definitely see a difference on the paint applications between those two figures. Lastly, you have the trilingual variant of the Hellspawn figure. That figure features, as you probably guessed it, 3 different languages. We have English, French, and Spanish. This is a figure that came with Raymond's box all the way from Paris, all the way from France, and he's helping me obtain these trilingual figures for the collection. So now we have the complete set of the 3 different carded variants of the Hellspawn. But it gets better because here we have, as you've been paying attention, it's the Tomart's Action Figure Digest issue number 112 with that same figure, the Hellspawn from upcoming Spawn Series 24. So July, right? Issue 112, and what a beauty. Nice condition magazine, practically as if I just bought it off the shelves at Barnes and Noble. And what a great feature to have on this mail call video to celebrate that figure that came in, completed the set, and the magazine to go and part with it. Obviously, let's not forget the cover. There it is. So let's move on to the next items that came in the mail. This one is a very special one to me. This original art page came all the way from Spain, courtesy of the one and only Javier Fernandez, the artist for King Spawn. And as every Spawn fan right now knows, King Spawn is just killing it. It is a fantastic read, a fantastic work of art, and what a joy has been to have Sean Lewis and Javier Fernandez bring this title practically to the front of all of the Spawn titles, and it definitely delivers. It does, especially with the story, especially with the art. It is the perfect combination when it comes to reading comics, and Javier has practically taken Spawn and given it his own style, right? And feel very blessed to have been working with Javier in a just through conversation, and he knows about the collection. He loves the collection, and in one of those conversations, it just happened to be that he said, "Hey, pick a page," and I said, "What?" Of course. And this is the page that I picked. This is the page number 6 from issue 4. So this is the cover for that particular issue. And wonderful. Thank you, Javier. Thank you, Javi. It is an honor to have your original work here, part of the collection. It is going to be cherished. And thank you again. Thank you so much. It features Spawn and that crown of his, like that practically he keeps it goes with the title King Spawn, right? And it's cool because in the back of this particular page, there's some layouts that he was probably working on trying to see how the sequence would work, and you can see that in the back of this page. And that's what you get when you get original art. You never know what goes in the mind of the artist, and this is no different. This is definitely something that I look at every part of it, at every panel, and the inks and just the black and whites really pop before the color comes in, and very, very happy to have it. And I did a giveaway for the issue not long ago, and man, just very, very, very shocked to have this in the Spawn room right now. It took quite a bit to come from Spain, but here we go. And again, thank you. So there you have it, folks. As I had mentioned earlier, this box from France arrived at my front door, and it was this massive amount of action figures that Raymond Flores, all the way from France, had sent to me. And it keeps adding on to these German variants of action figures from for the German series 1, number 761 of 1200 Overkill. And then we have the regular carded for the Vandalizer and Nuclear Spawn. So this keeps adding. It keeps going crazy. If anything, I'm running out of room is going to be with these German exclusives, because there are so many, and we're practically getting there to complete the collection. And thank you, Raymond. As you can see far back, there is the Gunslinger Spawn. That is the trilingual carded version of that figure. So, like we said earlier, you get English, you get French, and you get Spanish. And I mean, you can't go wrong with Gunslinger Spawn. That would complete my carded collection of the Gunslinger Spawn. Amazing figure. I would say if you're starting a collection, you gotta have the Gunslinger Spawn in your collection. Yes, the 12-inch is awesome. The 7-inch, 7.5-inch also, it's great. So you can't go wrong with either one of them. I think you should have this figure in your collection no matter what. Right next to it, we have Commando Spawn, also in the trilingual carded. This is a great figure too, a lot of detail. And then we saw this one. So it's getting crazy with the trilingual carded figures. And once you go down the rabbit hole of the variants and not just the color variants but now the carded variants, now we're getting into some quote quote dark territory when it comes to collecting. But that is when your friends come through. That is when you connect with other people. That is when you praise their collections. That is when you thank each other and you help each other. And this is what you're looking at right now, practically. uh the majority of these figures and the original art from Javier, it's from France and Spain. And it's because you make connections and you are practically being kind. It pays forward. And i I strongly recommend. I'm a strong believer that keeping it positive is gonna go open up doors for you, friendships, and people that collect and love Spawn as much as you do. So let's move on to the next items. All right. So next we have comics, because it's not just action figures. It's not just original art. It's also comics. And comics we've got, definitely. And this is a collection of Angela issue 1 and 2 from Germany that Raymond included in this box that he shipped. And each cover has this almost like a dust cover that you open, and inside it features a different cover. So when I opened the box, I noticed, wow, there's two of the same. But no, each one is different. Here you have the newsstand, right? And here you have a regular cover, and inside features two different covers as you open the dust jacket. I think these are freaking awesome. I'm debating if I should send these out for the Todd McFarlane signing for CGC. These are potential candidates. They're really nice condition and beautiful copies. You can't go wrong with Angela. And what a beautiful variant that you don't see often very much. And if you do, they're probably severely damaged. So I'm very, very happy to have these. As I said, there's issue 1 and issue 2. Here's issue 1. And again, with the differences on the newsstand variation, there it is. There's the barcode. And again, each cover, once you open the dust jacket, it features a different cover inside. So really awesome. Like I said, these are potential candidates for the CGC signing for Todd McFarlane. We also have something very cool. The Spawn movie soundtrack cassette tape from Sony Records and factory sealed. This is really cool to have. You don't see these too much. All tech, as some kids may say. And there's that guy, and we also have, I guess you could say, another variant. But we have another factory seal cassette tape, and this one features the sticker that has the artists that are part of the soundtrack. So yeah, a little bit of variation. Here we'll put them next to each other so you can see that the difference on the cassette tapes. So yes, it is crazy. I'm crazy, I guess, but there you go. So we have 2 factory seal cassette tapes and a little bit of variation on each one of them. I also got in the mail a copy of PlayStation 2 Spawn Armageddon, but this one is the Chinese version of the game. And yes, it is factory sealed, and it has Japanese writing on it. It still has the Sony tape going across, and this adds on to the collection. I cannot wait to do the video game feature, because there's so many now of these games that I have collected over the past few months that they deserve its own feature. But one more added to the collection for sure. And then we have a Spawn Season 1, a different packaging, came from overseas. And I love the packaging. Definitely very cool. Um, this was a marketing material for Europe. And as you can see, it's just different than your typical DVDs that you find here. Has the 18 for mature, Season 1, Chapter 1.1. The case is just insane. It's just never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it, and very cool to have it again. It's gonna go back and it's gonna go into the media section of the Spawn collection, and we are not done yet. We have more. So next we have CGC stuff. We have the CGC 9.8 King Spawn #1. This is the Brett Booth cover, and we have the Gunslinger #1 Brett Booth cover. And you're probably wondering, yeah, well, do these connect? Well, glad you asked, because they do connect. I already had the Scorch #1 Brett Booth variant 9.8, and yes, they will go nicely together in a nice feature for these 9.8 beauties that Brett Booth has put together, and they will display really nicely. There was also the Spawn Batman #1, or the one shot. This one is from Italy. So if you ever wanted to find out how do you say punk in Italian, rest assured you'll find out reading this book. So this is an Italian copy of Spawn Batman, the Italian version of it by Cold Comics, and it's really wonderful. I was just looking through the panels at the conversations between Spawn and Batman, and there was a lot of stupido, idiota, and it was just funny. So if you wanted to get your hands on this copy, definitely out in Italy. This came from all the way from Italy, and it adds on to the Spawn Batman collection that I have from different copies around the world. So now comes the part where we drop a giveaway. So I am going to give away a copy of Hellspawn #1, featuring that Ashley Wood cover that we have been featuring for the action figures that we got. So as always, just make sure you're subscribed, like, and comment, and just tell me what was your favorite item from the mail call, and we'll pick a random winner, and I'll send your copy of Hellspawn #1 to your collection. That way you can have it featured, read it, and be amazed at the art of Ashley Wood. Definitely one of a kind artist. So hunt hard, hunt with style. SpawnHunter signing off.